Check out all this new video we've just gotten into our newsroom. You can see here that this plane is going and its tire starts falling off the left rear side of the airplane. There it goes. This was moments after takeoff. This is a Boeing 777. It took off just after 11:20 this morning. It was headed to Japan at the time. Now, we've learned the flight was then diverted to LAX, where it landed safely at 1:15 this afternoon. And SFO officials are telling us that the runway where this plane took off from was briefly closed to clear the debris, but it has now reopened. United Airlines has now provided some new information about the flight with us, saying that there were a total of 249 people on board, 235 customers, 10 flight attendants, and 4 pilots. That's the breakdown. The plane does have 6 tires on each of its 2 main landing gear struts, so it's designed to land safely even if it is missing or has any damaged tires. So the United Airlines statement also reads this in part: United Flight 35 lost 1 tire after takeoff from SFO and landed safely at LAX. We are arranging for a new aircraft to continue this trip for our customers. So as we work to get more details about what happened, this is video here showing us the plane landing at LAX. Again, all the passengers on board, we understand, are safe and were not hurt, and the plane, as United said there, is able to land safely without, if it's missing any of its gears. We are also working to confirm exactly where that tire that blew off this plane has landed. For more now, we're going to turn now to our anchor, Ken Wayne, here at KRON 4. He flies planes as a part of his job, part of a hobby. He's our residential aviation expert. So, Ken, when you heard this, thanks for joining us, by the way, this afternoon. When you heard that this plane had this tire fall off, and we're going to watch here as the plane lands safely at LAX, that this tire went off, were you concerned at all about the safety for the passengers, or are you aware that planes are built to be able to land missing some of its landing gear?
Well, obviously it's concerning. It's something you don't want to see happen. One of the things that's really interesting about the 777 is the landing gear itself, and it's easy to identify a 777 by looking at the landing gear. They call it, the nickname for it is Bigfoot, because it has 6 tires underneath each wing for the main landing gear. Of course, there's the main landing gear where one of these tires fell off, and then the nose gear. I've never heard of a main landing gear tire fall off on takeoff. The only tire issues I've ever heard is of a nose gear collapse or a nose gear that blows out when landing, because when the nose comes down, if it comes down too abruptly, it'll blow out the nose gear. So a landing gear tire falling off on takeoff is something that is obviously very unusual and concerning, and I'm sure the FAA and NTSB is going to be taking a very close look at what happened here.
So as we're looking at, we have all sorts of different videos that we're showing our viewers as we're talking to you here, some of it showing the plane taking off. You can actually see the tire coming off. I know there has to be a lengthy investigation to figure out why, but was it just not secured properly? Like, what would lead a tire to just fall off of an airplane?
That's the million-dollar question, Justine, that they're going to have to try to figure out. One thing to consider is that when an airplane is taking off, particularly a big jumbo plane like a 777, which is one of the largest commercial airplanes out there, it's leaving San Francisco going to Japan. That's a long flight across the ocean. It's full of passengers, it's full of baggage, and it's full of fuel. So it's the heaviest that plane is going to be during the course of the entire flight is on takeoff. So that's when you have the most weight put on the tires and the landing gear is on takeoff. By the time it gets to Japan, it's burned a substantial amount of fuel, and it's much lighter. So when it lands, it's a lot less stressful, unless it's a hard landing. But a typical landing, it's a lot less stressful on the landing gear. So the question is, what kind of stress was there on this landing gear at takeoff? Was there some wear and tear in the landing gear that caused something to break down and cause that tire itself to fall off? For a tire to blow out, like I said, that's not incredibly unusual. It doesn't happen often, but it does happen. But for a tire to actually fall off That is what's unusual.
And Ken, we're just now getting some confirmation that this tire that fell off, this United Boeing 777, did land at the employee parking lot, and it damaged some cars. So several cars are damaged now after this tire has fallen off. So you could just imagine that this, maybe you know at that point, if you're looking at, if you can see the video, how many feet up in the air the plane would be at that point, that a tire that's big enough for a plane like this, then falling that many feet down, landing on cars, you know, if a piece of a baseball can do some damage to a hood, just imagine what a airplane tire would do. So we're working to get some video now into our newsroom showing that damage, but we have confirmed that some cars were damaged at an employee parking lot. If you were on this plane, would the pilot have said something, or like, I'm sure some like red light went off in the cockpit being like, you know what, you lost a tire. There must be some warning that the pilots got about this. But as we watch the video, the tires continue then to go up into the belly of the plane. There doesn't seem to be any stopping in what goes on with the actual takeoff. What would the pilot be, if you're in the cockpit, what notifications would you be getting that something's going wrong?
Well, I've never flown a 777. There's a lot of that I can't answer, but in basic aviation, knowledge, I would say that, that plane probably does have some sensors. They're pretty sophisticated that would indicate there's a failure in the landing gear system. Now, the reason you want the landing gear to go up is because it's less drag on the plane so that it can fly easier. And then, hopefully you can put the landing gear back down when you need to land. Also, as I mentioned, it's the heaviest it's going to be. So the chances of it kind of turning around and going back and landing at SFO right away may not be the safest thing to do, because it's still full of fuel, still very heavy, and you could have, a compromised landing situation there. So what might have happened, and this is pure speculation on my part, is that they decided to head to LAX. I guess he said it was something like 20 minutes after takeoff that they determined that they're changing course. And by doing that, they have an opportunity to release some fuel over the ocean, and that fuel typically dissipates into the air and doesn't actually land on the water. But they can lighten the load. They can get rid of some fuel. They can figure out exactly what their situation is, and have an understanding of, okay, we have one tire gone. You have 6 tires, now you have 5 on one side of your landing gear. That shouldn't be a major problem unless the failure of that tire did some other damage to other tires in the landing gear, which they don't know. So
until they land.
And the runways at LAX are very long. They have a lot of space to land. So, and they have, a big ready response team down there. I'm sure they had the first responders on standby. Probably fire trucks were out, next to the runway as it came in. So, to me, that's what would make sense, is that they would probably lighten the load, get down there, and make a normal landing and everything, hope for the best. And it sounds like that's what's happened.